The 2020 United States presidential election is scheduled for Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. It will be the 59th quadrennial presidential election. Voters will select presidential electors who in turn will vote on December 14th, 2020 to either elect a new president and vice president or re-elect the incumbents Donald Trump and Mike Pence respectively. The series of presidential primary elections and caucuses are being held from February to August 2020. This nominating process is an indirect election, where voters cast ballots selecting a slate of delegates to a political party's nominating convention, who then in turn elect their party's nominees for president and vice president. The election will occur simultaneously alongside elections for the House of Representatives, Senate, and various state and local level elections. Donald Trump, the 45th and incumbent president, has launched a re-election campaign for the Republican primaries. Several state Republican Party organizations have cancelled their primaries in a show of support for his candidacy. Trump became the presumptive Republican nominee on March 17, 2020. After securing a majority of pledged delegates, 29 major candidates launched campaigns for the Democratic nomination, which became the largest field of candidates for any political party in the post-reform period of American politics. Former Vice President Joe Biden became the presumptive Democratic nominee when Senator Bernie Sanders, the last other major candidate in the Democratic primary, suspended his campaign on April 8, 2020. The Libertarian Party nominated Professor Jo Jorgensen as its candidate during an online convention on May 23, 2020, making Jorgensen the first female presidential candidate in Libertarian Party history. The winner of the 2020 presidential election is scheduled to be inaugurated on January 20, 2021. Biden and Trump are respectively the oldest and second oldest major party presumptive nominees in US history, and if Biden is elected and inaugurated, he will also become the oldest serving president. Further, either major candidate, should they win, would be the first person from their respective home state to win a presidential election, with Biden being the first Delawarian and Trump the first Floridian. Still, the age group of what will then be people in the 18 to 45-year-old bracket is expected to represent just under 40% of the United States eligible voters in 2020. It is expected that more than 30% of eligible American voters will be non-white. A bipartisan report indicates that changes in voter demographics since the 2016 election could impact the results of the 2020 election. African Americans, Hispanics, Asians, and other ethnic minorities, as well as whites with a college degree, are expected to all increase their percentage of national eligible voters by 2020, while whites without a college degree will decrease. Generation, those born after 1996, will more than double to 10% of the eligible voters. Traditionally, these shifts have been thought to be potentially advantageous for the Democratic nominee, as all groups increasing in size have historically voted for Democrats in significantly larger numbers than Republicans, a trend which continues to today. However, the rate at which these groups, especially generation, vote for Democrats is decreasing, with non-whites and young voters both voting for and supporting Republicans at higher rates than before 2016. To further complicate matters, this is counteracted by whites and 65+ voters both voting for and supporting Democrats at a higher rate. These shifts have been slight overall nationally, but substantially larger in swing states such as Wisconsin, Michigan, and Iowa. These shifts tend to occur more geographically favorably for Republicans than Democrats. Thus, it is possible Trump could win the Electoral College while still losing the popular vote, possibly by an even larger margin than in 2016. Please subscribe my YouTube channel.